Hey guys, what's going on? This is Melissa Zad for Pep Talk UK. Please remember to comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm joined by Riakporhe down at Peacocks today. First and foremost, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, thank you for asking. So Rich has just told me that he had a sparring session in the morning and he's feeling sharp. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how that spar went?
Yeah, I was just working on strategy, using my jab, and also just working on my defense as well. But just keeping in character, really.
Yeah.
Keeping in character, pressuring, and yeah, it went pretty well.
Yeah. So when you've got a fight coming up, as you do, you've got a fight in a couple of weeks. What does your sparring strategy change? Do you do less hard spars, or does it increase in terms of intensity?
No, it decreases definitely.
Yeah. Because
fighters tend to spar hard. The fighters that tend to spar hard, when they go into the fight, they have nothing left to give. Because they've done all the work in the sparring and stuff. That was their fight. So you have to be really strategic and intelligent, and listen to the body most importantly. Today we were just working on strategy.
Yeah. But
there's a lot of different fighters that obviously go all out for sparring. But at the end of the day, it's all about learning. And if you're not sparring the right way, then you probably won't get anything out.
Yeah, because you obviously want to make sure you've got some fuel left in the tank, when it comes to fight night, right?
Exactly.
So at what point in your training camp do you or do your coach say to themselves okay, at this point we're going to take down the intensity and just ride out until fight night?
Well, the coach Mark Tibbs will normally tell me maybe a week before. And sometimes he just wants to see how I'm doing. If he's satisfied, then we'll take it down.
Right.
Much, maybe 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
But just make sure that we do the rounds when we do them.
Yeah.
And look impressive doing them at the same time.
So it's really dependent on the training camp. It's quite unique to every different training camp.
Yeah, it's unique to every different fighter as well.
Yeah.
Certain fighters, may be able to have a high output. I'm sure the smaller fighters, they have to have a faster output.
Yeah.
But with bigger fighters, we can take our time, chill, and then obviously by the time when it comes to near the fight, we can it's all about just working on the strategy, and then after that, just taking it down, wherever you're taking the rounds down. A lot of fighters I heard through the grapevine, they don't even spar the same amount of rounds they actually fight for.
Really?
Yeah. So, for example, you hear about fighters fighting 12 rounds, and then they end up fighting for, I heard Derek Chisora when he was sparring when he was preparing for Dillian Whyte. I heard he was sparring 10 rounds.
Wow.
So everybody's got a different type of strategy.
Depends what works for each individual. So your story is a really inspiring one, which I think is important to talk about. The way that you got into boxing and kind of your philosophy around it. You had quite a turbulent history prior to boxing, am I right?
Yes, definitely.
And you found that at 19 when you got into boxing, it sort of changed everything, right?
Yeah, so I put it out there, and I've got a lot of press from it as well. Growing up around Southeast London on a big council estate, Aylesbury estate, you can imagine all the stuff that we got up to.
Yeah.
Found myself getting in trouble quite a bit from police, giving my mum a lot of headache, as you can imagine. And I just had to do something else. It got to the point where it was either I was going to go jail for life or get killed. And I did end up getting stabbed as well, and nearly died. So I just thought, let me just change things, and it's I wasn't pressured to change anything, because to be honest, things were going quite well on the streets. My street credibility was high, everything was going well, but I just thought, let me just try something different.
Do you feel your near-death experience was kind of a wake-up call?
No way.
No.
When that was more of an experience. I was 15 when I got stabbed. I got a lot of attention from everybody. Everybody just wanted to look after me a bit more. But I just kind of stayed in for a while. I didn't come out, didn't go parties for a long time, because that's where it happened. And finally, I just started to get out there, and my interest in it, it didn't disappear. So I just started to get involved on a deeper scale, to be honest. And then, but I just knew, obviously, knives are dangerous. If anybody pulls out a knife from me, I would have to run. Yeah, just run. That was my notion towards that. But I would carry a knife myself, just protect myself just in case. So, but yeah, like in the end, after I changed my life, it was due to one of my friends as well. He was in boxing, and he was showing me a lot of shots and punches, and I was just so interested and intrigued. And I was always competitive. I used to play football, and I thought, you know, let me give boxing a try. I asked him to show me the gym, and I went training with him a few times. And before I knew it, I had a fight after a year, and then I won by TKO in the second round.
Your first fight, your debut amateur.
Yeah, debut amateur, and it started building from there, and I realised I had a lot of power because I was beating all my opponents by TKO, KO, and yeah, I just thought, you know, I should just take this a bit more seriously. I went into the championships. I didn't have time to hang around the streets no more, because if I had a fight on Saturday, it wouldn't make sense for me, you know, chilling on a block on a Friday or Thursday. I need to rest or run to make weight.
Yeah.
I was fighting at a lower weight class than what I am now. Eventually, it started getting a bit more serious, and decided to study. I went to college. After that, I went to uni, Kingston University, graduated, and then after a year of training, I went pro.
And your pro career has been like incredible. You're like 8-0.
Yeah, it's been going well. It could be better.
Well, everything could always be better, right? But at the end of 2018, you got your first title, right? It was the WBO Intercontinental. And the fight coming up is your first defense of that. So how did it feel when you got that title? When you raised the belt?
Yeah, you know, as a fighter, we train subconsciously to become champions.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was such a big deal for me. That was probably the most important fight of my whole entire career.
Of course, yeah.
Everything leading up to all of the things I've learned in the amateurs and in my early pro fights, it had to get put on display there, everything that I've learned. And you know, I in my opinion, I felt short of my performance on that night, but we still got the victory and we got the title, which is the most important thing.
Why do you feel like you fell short?
I think it's just occasion and just thinking about it too much. I couldn't even sleep.
Really?
The nights before,
nerves,
the nerves were running quite high, and I don't know, it was just the occasion as well. Probably just wasn't relaxing a bit more. But you know, that's bound to happen. You know, when it's such a big thing, you know, WBA title. Yeah. Everybody would have loved to win that.
Yeah.
You know, if they got the opportunity. And I can imagine Sam Hyde, you know, you wish he took that home that night, but you know, I just showed a different side of me. You know, and I like to describe them as champion type qualities. Yeah. You know, to be able to dig deep if you're losing and just find a way, and that's what he did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he walked away with that with like a horrific injury. You know? Like some people have said, like it was the worst that they've seen. Like it was quite astonishing. So like you both were obviously part of a really good fight, but it must have, even if you felt like you fell short, it must have felt like such an amazing moment.
Oh man, I can't explain the feeling. You know, I couldn't stop smiling for a good week. You know, my cheeks were aching because of the grins, and you know, it's a blessing. You know, and at the end of the day, I like to show the world things that I've been through in my life, so I can be an inspiration to other people coming from my background, and show like there's other ways. There's other ways to, you know, to make something of yourself.
This is something I mean, in my opinion, this is something that's quite important to you, isn't it? Like this kind of idea around like social enterprise of being a good influence and just like being a good role model for people and showing them that like there is different routes that they can take, and like it's something that when people speak about you, it's something that comes up quite often. So like obviously that's a massive achievement as well as the boxing.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of like the defense of your title, like how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm excited, and I feel like I've got another chance to actually show my skills. Now, I believe I'm one of the best cruiserweights in this country for sure. And I just sometimes you need a right opponent to show your skills. You know, and I feel like this is going to be my time to shine, like properly. You know, that's why I'm excited for this defense.
I mean, I guess like in a way it's going to be like better than when you, not better in terms of how it feels, but like there will be less nerves around it, I assume. So like you can actually like relax a little bit more and like take your time and show like what you can do. Right?
Exactly, because I'm a champion, so you know it's all about going out there and having fun.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Johnny Nelson and a few others, Puli Malignaggi, coming to me saying, Richard, yeah, do your thing, just have fun. But I didn't understand what they meant by fun. This is the most important fight for me. It's like I couldn't relax. I couldn't, you know, I couldn't relax. I couldn't chill mentally. I was just kind of draining. My energy was draining mentally.
Yeah, it's that nervous energy, isn't it?
That nervous
it takes
energy.
a lot out of you.
It takes a lot. But now I've already champed, I've already accomplished that, so it's now time to move on. It's time to perfect my performance so I can move on to, you know, bigger and better things and to what I want to become. That's a world champion.
Yeah.
So I know what it takes. I'm around Dillian Whyte all the time, and I've seen the hard work and I've seen what it takes to get up there and perform at that level. It's hard work. It's hard work. But I dedicated myself to this, and I believe it's destiny. I actually really believe that's destiny, so it will come to pass.
For sure. I mean, looking ahead to like the rest of the year and like what you see happening for you, you've mentioned that you believe that you're one of the best cruiserweights, and it is a solid division. You know, it's a really solid division. So, who would, you know, ideally, who would you like to fight next?
After this fight?
Yeah.
There's loads of people. Like, you know, to be honest, we tried to make a lot of fights. A lot of people turned it down.
Really?
You know, a lot of people be surprised, but you know, maybe they're not ready mentally, or you know, I think it's good management as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I'm hungry. You know, I don't mind. I'll fight whoever if it makes sense. I already put out there. So there's anybody in the top 10. Listen, we can get cracking 100%. Like, just sit down. If you got a title, even better. Bring something to the table. I've got a title, and so I don't mind. I want to progress, and I want to fight the people that got the titles. That's the most important thing, because I want to progress in my career.
Yeah.
No point in taking a hard fight for a little money and you're not progressing at the same time. You have to be strategic, because it's prize fighting. At the end of the day, it's a business. And it took a long time for me to understand that. That's why a lot of people, like around me, Dillian Whyte, drilled in my head like, listen, it's not about fighting everybody, but you fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just ready for whatever. You know? I want to make sure that, you know, I want to fight as much fights as I can.
Yeah.
Take on these guys, and so it's just unchallenged. When they say Richard Riakporhe, listen, he's in his own league.
Yeah.
Leave him, he's on his own lane.
Yeah.
Don't bother pulling him out, because you know it's going to be a problem for you. It's going to be a hard contest for you. And that's just what I want to get to. Right now it's just more speculation. Like, maybe Richard, I don't know. But to be honest,
but it's all the stepping stones, isn't it? These are things that, like, when you piece them together, that's going to get you to where you want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought when I won the title that, you know, people are going to be jumping at the opportunity to fight. But trust me, people weren't jumping at the opportunity to fight that quick. They were like,
well, they're probably trying to be strategic as well, right?
Yeah. But you know what? To be honest, even when I was like 4 fights in, I was ready to take my opportunity. I remember I got that fight with Riakporhe. I had probably about 5 fights. He had tons of experience over me, but I really believed that I'll beat him and get the title. And just progress my career because there's an opportunity on the big stage. But Dillian told me, he said, listen, if you want to make something of yourself, you're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to roll the dice. And that's drilled in my head. I know where it is, and I will take a risk if it comes to it.
Yeah. Well, it's been working for you so far, so like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, we wish you the best of luck for your upcoming fight. Any last thoughts?
Just stay tuned, really. Like, stay tuned and follow my journey. It's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
You know, and I think big things are coming from you.
Yeah.
Sure.
We wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your time.